After years of suffering from severe migraines, Cheryl found that Mary Ginseng House Ontario Ginseng helped alleviate her migraines.
And sometimes I'd be taking the medication 3 or 4 days in a row, and it would make me ill, especially after I'd taken it more than 3 or 4 times in a row. And sometimes it just wouldn't control it, and I'd be in a merge, and they'd have to give me the medication intravenously. And this medication was Imitrex. It was prescribed by a neurologist. And I was finding I just couldn't tolerate it, so I tended not to take it fast enough, for one thing. And then I started trying the ginseng, and I took, after about a month and a half, I found that the severity of the headaches and the duration of them was marked improvement. I now get mild headaches, still every couple months probably, but they're controlled easily with aspirin. I haven't been in the hospital on an occasion since I started taking the ginseng. So I'd say I had 2 really bad years before I started trying the ginseng. I've taken it for a year now, but it only took about maybe the first month before I noticed a difference. And I now get migraines far less frequently and far less severely. I'd probably get rid of it within the day. And I haven't had any episodes where I've had to go to the hospital since I've been on ginseng. I have more energy. I'm not... I tend to be a sleep-in the morning person on the weekends when I have the opportunities, and I wake up earlier with, I'm not as tired all the time. So I haven't noticed any other side effects at all, other than the good ones.
Tom recovered much more rapidly than expected from treatment for colon cancer, thanks to Mary Ginseng House Ontario Ginseng.
So I had, I'd say, 60% of the intestine removed. The colon is gone. So I don't have to worry about colon cancer anymore because I don't have a colon. It was very bad, and it was extremely debilitating. Lethargic, you couldn't do anything, you didn't want to eat. Of course, you were not allowed to drink any liquids, so that didn't help. And as I said, so that when I came out of hospital, I was a wreck, a complete wreck. I went through 2 to 3 relapses. There is, of course, no appetite, and your stomach depletes in terms of capacity. I found that even in the hospital, I was shuffling around, and this was simply put down to the fact that it was severe surgery. When I came out of the hospital on the 19th of January, I could barely walk, and I had to be assisted out of the car and around the house. Now, the doctor had stated that I was to recuperate for a minimum of 12 weeks, that there would be no significant change to the better for me, and that probably 6 months to a year before I was really back to where I had started before the illness. However, taking the ginseng, after a week, my appetite did return, and since then I've not looked back. After a 2-week period, I was up and about and able to carry on my normal office duties for my secular work, and from then it's been pretty good. And on that basis, if I hadn't taken the ginseng, I probably would have been a bit of a vegetable stretched out on a Chesterfield for a large number of months, and not productive, and it doesn't help your state of mind either. I'm about to start my 3rd round of chemotherapy. The people that I see when I go to the clinic, some look reasonably well, others look visibly quite ill. I was told that side effects could be severe diarrhea, that I might have loss of appetite, and or that I might feel very, very nauseated and therefore not want to eat. Happily, because I'm taking the ginseng, these effects are not manifest. After a month, my appetite was fully recuperated, and I haven't looked back since. I do still continue to take ginseng, and I will continue to do that.
Others are using Mary Ginseng House to give them the extra vitality and vigor they need to perform their jobs.
With more physical demands made on my body. And so I noticed that the other people who were working there found they used the Mary Ginseng House ginseng, and they were able to work at a higher level. They had more energy. They were able to be relaxed at the end of the day and not so stressed. And I said, well, I would like to be able to as well. So I began to try it, and I found that it was very helpful. I take the Mary Ginseng House ginseng because it gives me more energy. In my job, I find there are many demands physically on my body, and there are also occasions when I have to do overtime, and that also gives me the added strength. There are, at my age, I'm close to 54, I find that I need some strength, I need some energy, and Mary Ginseng House ginseng gives me that. It helps me to meet all the demands of my job and still have energy at the end of the day. I received the benefits for the last 3 years in taking Mary Ginseng House ginseng, and I've noticed that the benefits are something I don't want to lose, and I take 6 tablets every day, and it's not something I don't do on the weekends. I also take it on the weekends as well, because even if I've not had the same physical demands, I find that it gives me still the energy on the weekends to do things that I want to do.
5 years ago, I had emergency surgery on my stomach, my abdominal muscles, and I was in hospital for about a week, and I had a 4-week recuperating period at home. I do have a very physically demanding job, and I was sidelined, as I said, and I didn't have enough energy or stamina to get through my workday when I did go back to work, and I'd heard about Mary Ginseng. I decided to try some. I find that gives me an extra boost to keep up with the fast pace that I have to maintain at my job, and it energizes me and it calms me down at the same time, so it gives me that balance to be able to do these. I've been taking the product now for 4.5 years.
Before I took Mary Ginseng, I felt tired at school and I didn't feel like doing much. At night I study hard, but then the next day I was sleepy and I don't feel like doing much. But after I took Mary Ginseng, I didn't get sick that often. I can be more energized and participate in everything with my schoolwork because I have more energy to study and I won't get sleepy and just go away and leave it. I would stick to it and then take more time and effort to study. And I think it's pretty good and it helps me a lot.
I'm a teacher with the secondary school, and I was in school and when the heart attack took place, and I was immediately shifted to the hospital, and I was in the hospital for 8 days. And when I was relieved from the hospital, I was taking the medicines my cardiologist had prescribed, and my family doctor told me there's no harm, I can take ginseng because it boosts up energy. So I started taking ginseng capsules, and I have noticed the change. Like in the morning I don't take breakfast, I just take a cup of tea, I might take a biscuit or maybe sometimes a banana, and then I take my pills which the doctor has recommended, and then I take 6 capsules of ginseng and I go to school, and I'm very fine. And I think from the time I've started taking ginseng, there is more energy, more vitality, and I don't feel weak, I don't feel any problem or any physical fatigue or anything, and I'm very fine. So I think it's helping me, and I'm still continuing to take it.
While Mary took